Yeah, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zah back at you. Anyways, man, before I even get into what I want to talk about, man, shout out to Bay Recon, shout out to Silent from Bay Recon, shout out to Proving Our Point, shout out to L00. All these cats out there doing their music, Bordachi the Beast, Young Gritty, Frank Nady and them. Like, and salutes to you. But anyways, it's funny, dude. Like, I guess you can tell by the title exactly what I'm going to talk about. And it's a word that seems to be thrown out there so much, especially in my DM. You have these 2.5s and these PCs always running their mouth. And for the most part, I tend to just push them to the side because at the end of the day, if they were really about what they say they were, and the fact that their group is so big and that they're everywhere and that they don't have to follow no rules, they would be content with that. But you can, when a person is not really sure in the shit that they preach, they tend to want to retract it. Not only retract it, but they tend to want to make a case for it. And in this case, a lot of these cats that be in my DM that are no good, they're constantly trying to make a case, what they say, tax-free, not want to kill homies, not want to kill their brothers. They found something a lot better, whether it was Northern Riders, whether it was 2.5s, whether it was this group, this group, this group. But at the end of the day, they all want to be the same thing. They want to be somebody that don't really have to deal with consequences, but then they turn around and get into another organization where they have to deal with consequences. This is not even about politics. This whole video is about the fact that these lames constantly jump in my DM and say things along the line that you're a crash test dummy. And I just want to, that's what I want to talk about today. It's nothing about really the 2.5s or the PCs. You know where they're at. They ain't busting no great. So plain and simple fact, the whole thing is about this word crash dummy. And crash dummy, people like to say that to the homies because basically they say we're like mindless beasts. Not even mindless beasts, that we listen to absolutely everything we're told, and when we're told to do something, we do it. And along them lines, to be honest, that's just the way it goes. I mean, at the end of the day, you will mind somebody. Regardless of what situation you're in, whether you're in a job, whether you a police officer, whether you a citizen, you know what I mean? Not just a citizen, but like somebody that's just never had any type of criminal record. You got to mind somebody because that's how you get along in life. Sometimes, see, that's the thing about crash dummy. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, we do what we're told. But that's just a part of the game. If you chose to get involved in certain situations and chose to participate in certain things, that's just something that comes along with the territory. And instead of crying about it, we just got to push through it. But that's what a man does. They push through every obstacle. Sometimes you're in a situation to where you're probably going to come out on the losing end, but you had no choice. It's just something that you... that was embedded in you as a child. It's like when you're at a young age and your father, if he was present, or whether uncle or something that that you could hold to that standard was there, whether it might be your homies that just raised you to be something strong. Like, a boy should be a boy, a girl should be a girl, a man should conduct itself, a boy should conduct itself a certain way. So at the end of the day, we're already taught that at a young age. So when Fu say crash test dummies, I just say, everybody's a crash test dummy, because whether you like it or not, you're going to be a crash test dummy some way. Maybe it's to defend a family member. So yeah, you might be put in a situation to you might be facing the rest of your life in prison, but you're going to defend this family member or your girlfriend or your kids or anything. You're going to do what you see. You're going to do what you were told to do. You know what I mean? And a lot of it is instinctual. You know what I mean? But that's besides the point. Everybody's a crash test dummy. And yeah, I'm a crash test dummy, and I'm proud of it. Because at the end of the day, I did exactly what I said I was going to do. I did my part as a link in the chain. You know what I'm saying? You're only as weak as a certain link in your chain. If that particular link is weak, then your whole crew, they don't necessarily fall, but it causes like, you know what I mean? Not a dissolution, but man, I don't even know the word for it. But basically, it's like a chink. You know what I mean? It messes things up. As long as shit is running well, you know what I mean? Everything else will run well. If one individual is weak, a lot of times it causes a disadvantage to certain people. So yeah, me personally, I'm glad that I was a crash test dummy, because at the end of the day, that's something that I chose. I chose to partake in certain activities. And when I was asked to do what I needed to do, I did what I needed to do. But that's just a whole part of this whole being involved in gangs, being involved in criminal activities. And that's why I say to most people that want to get involved in this, I tell them it's something that you really got to sit back and think about, because most likely you're going to ruin your life. Now, am I still out here actively being a crash test dummy? No, that was something when I was in prison, but I haven't been asked to do nothing any other homie hasn't been able to ask. We've all been in a situation to where it might not look like it's going to turn out good for us, but we have no choice as not only a gangbanger, but as an individual that chose to put himself in a position to where he had to do certain things. And some of us, are the type that they took it in stride. Some homies gravitate towards the madness. Some people love to get involved in certain things. Now, the reason I said all this is because, like I said, man, you know, since your boy started this channel, I got a gang of 2-5s and all types of groups that come in my shit and just be doing this all day. Like they basically want to argue and just all types of shit. Like, but you know what I mean? And at times I do entertain it. You know what I mean? I may flip them off, tell them where to go, this, but they all seek validation. So it's like, you know, what can you really do? It's just when they go out of their way to call you a crash test dummy and say you're a puppet to the situation, you're a puppet to your affiliation. But the funny thing about it is these dudes are just as much a puppet as we are. Why? Because they actually left one group to go and get in another group that's doing the same thing. The only difference is all of them are made up of trash. There's nothing they can really say to justify the fact. You got fools, some dude today talking about, oh, I dropped out because it was politics, brutal politics. It don't matter why you dropped out. You dropped out. You know what I'm saying? And it's just the way it is. But I don't actively go out seeking these people. They come to my channel, and not just on YouTube. You got to request, and I got to approve it for you to be on my page. You know what I mean? I did that because it was a gang of weirdos coming on. But these cats want to feel validated so bad that they come to my page, request, and then try to make like slick little slide disses until I figure them out, which is relatively quick. Like, I can tell when somebody's trying to say things about me. So I'll address them and ask them, why would you want to come to my page, knowing what type of situation is this? And not just GP, but in active, this is just people that still hold to a certain standard. And then you'll have these cats come on here and they'll say things along the line. Well, you know, that's besides the point. The whole video was basically about when they use that word, it's a crash test dummy. The reason I chose to speak on it, because I find it hypocritical of somebody that chose to leave one organization and go to another to call me a crash test dummy when they're doing the same exact thing. The only thing is that I didn't lock it up. I didn't PC up over dope. I didn't PC up over because I chose to stick my neck out to a certain point where somebody wanted to chop it off. See, a lot of these cats that end up in that situation, if they didn't fall to dope, or maybe they got some shady shit in their past, these cats are falling for the simple fact that they racing too fast. That's what they tell you. You race too fast and you crash into a wall. A lot of these cats will crash into the wall, still be able to live beyond it, but they're so scared and bent on the fact that they're probably going to lose their life that they fold quick. And like I said, this video wasn't necessarily about anything about 2-5s and PCs. It was just, it's funny how these cats constantly, and it's like, no matter how many times, I don't even block these cats, but it says no matter how many times I put something out, there's always these cats in my DM. Like, some of them I think are so infatuated, it's funny, and I laugh at it because a lot of times I'm on the street out there, and these so-called cats that be just really with the function still, they have not did absolutely nothing at all. And that's what I find the most funny. It's like we're all crash test dummies in some way. That's basically all I want to say. We're all crash test dummies in some way, and at some point in our life we all bite the bullet, and not necessarily meaning literally bite the bullet like you die from getting shot, but we bite the bullet. There's a lot of things that we act on, or certain shit we hold back because that's life. You're gonna follow orders from somebody. It don't matter where it comes from. If you join the military, you're gonna follow orders, and when you don't follow orders, what? You get court-martialed. If you do something shady, you probably get court-martialed and get kicked out of the military. If if you're in prison and you don't want to follow whatever group you chose to align yourself with on the streets, then you know what time it is. You know what I mean? It's just, there's consequences to your action, and you must settle that with whoever is directing, you know, your movements. If you're in a job and your boss tell you he wants you to do it a certain way, if you want to hold on to your job, you're going to do it a certain way because he told you what to do. So you have people that take the bullet for people all the time. Situation that they know they had absolutely nothing to do with, but they still do it because it's something in them that propels them, not propels them, but it's something in them that makes them either want to do it or do it out of fear. Understand, nothing I do in life is out of fear. It's out of recognition. You know what I mean? Like most people want some sort of recognition, so they go above and beyond and they do what they must do. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, yeah, I'm a crash test dummy. Actively a crash test dummy. I'm not out on the street doing nothing no more. I'm not in prison, so the crash test dummy doesn't really apply to me. But if I was ever to get locked up again, then I would be a crash dummy all over again. And that's not being negativity. It's just when you make certain choices in life, you must adhere to certain rules. And I will always adhere to certain rules. Is that my goal? No. My goal is to make this channel blow up as far as I can. And if it doesn't, then I tried. You know what I mean? My goal is to create clothing and create an atmosphere with homies to where I can actually function. You give me a 68 Chevy Impala right now, 65, I'll be done with YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But if I ever drop YouTube, it's either going to be because I'm too old and just feel like there's nothing else I can say on it, or it'll get so watered down that I just don't want no part of it. And like I said in prior videos, there's a lot of stuff on here that's misinformation, and some of it is real information, but the way it's said and the way people go about saying it, it exposes more than just their, you know what I mean? But nowadays people would do anything for likes. They'll do anything to get on top. And don't get me wrong, anybody that comes on here and says that they're not trying to gain something, you got these ones that are like, oh yeah, I'm really trying to reach out and help. Yeah, we're all trying to help in our own way, but at the same time, we do want to progress our channel. We do want to get to the point to where we're actually getting paid money for it. I get paid for YouTube when homies decide that they want to watch, but when they don't, it's like, you know, that it's not, I'm not hitting six figures, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, for the people that might have some preconceived notion of what with YouTube, trust me, if your content ain't on point 24/7, you ain't really making nothing out of it. So just decide what you want to do. But like I said, man, this video has been going too long. I just wanted to say that I'm a crash test dummy, and anybody that's living in this world is a crash test dummy, because at some point you're gonna do what the fuck you told on. Now I'm your boy Zod, and I'm out. Happy Friday.